What up, world? I'm I'm playing around with this iMovie and all its features. So you know what I'm saying? Just get used to that. Speaking of iMovie and iTunes, iPod, everything Apple. I saw Jobs, and I ain't go fill out no applications. I ain't go to no unemployment office. See, I saw Jobs, and it's the biographical story of the life of Steve Jobs, and it's uh it's starring Ashton Kutcher, and it's directed by, I want to say his name is Joshua Michael Stern, and I want to talk about the casting of Ashton Kutcher as Steve Jobs first. Um, this movie, I feel like it's gonna get a lot of mixed to negative reviews because it's Ashton Kutcher, and all you know Ashton Kutcher for is That '70s Show, Now Two and a Half Men, the silly movies he's done, What Happened in Vegas, Just Married, Valentine's Day or whatever, New Year's Eve, whichever one of those he was in. Um, he like aside from the Butterfly Effect, I can't think of another like serious tone movie he's done. But Ashton Kutcher can act, man. Um, I mean, for example, let me just throw this shit out on Front Street right now, man. I'm gonna show y'all a couple pictures, man. So peep out this first picture that I got. It's young Steve Jobs on the left, and it's Ashton Kutcher on the right. Man, you could call me a lie, man, but they look just like twins. And then I got this one right here, and on the left you see Ashton Kutcher, and he fresh out the makeup chair to make himself look like older Steve Jobs. And then on the right you got old Steve Jobs once again, spitting image, man. So like he looks identical, man, and like Steve Wozniak, man, the dude that plays him looks identical. Josh Gad is who plays Wozniak. Um, I don't really know off the top of my head everybody else that's in this movie. Like, it's a lot of figures that impacted Steve Jobs' life. Every actor in this movie looked damn near identical to their character. Um, so it starts off in 2001, and it starts off with the announcement of the iPod, and then like Steve Jobs, at first, this is how to a T Ashton Kutcher looked like this dude. Because at first, when it's like a wide shot and you can't really get a clear view of Steve Jobs, I thought it was like old footage of Steve Jobs at the very beginning of the movie. And then it gets tired. I'm like, okay, like he starts talking. I'm like, okay, that's Ashton Kutcher. And then it goes back to the '70s, and but he's not wearing no shoes. He's dropped out of college. Like he's smashing more than one female. He's experimenting with drugs, man. It was the '70s. Like Steve Jobs, like in the finding himself phase of his life, man. Steve Jobs was a hippie. But like he already had like a vision, and he already had drive that he wanted to go somewhere and be something. And I mean, it jumps ahead a couple years later. He's working for Atari, and he has beef. Like he's yelling at this programmer, and he's just like saying like people want color, people want to play their games in color, and the dude's just like, I can't do that. And like Ashton Kutcher just rips him a new asshole, or Steve Jobs rips him a new asshole, and then the supervisor comes out, and then he's telling you, he's like, man, give me my own project. 4 days, I'll have this shit tight. And that's how like he basically starts working with Wozniak, and then they're hanging out, and Wozniak just has like an old monitor and an old keyboard just in the, you know what I'm saying, in the distance, and Steve Jobs sees that shit, and then Like Steve Jobs, not really like jacks his idea, but like he suggests like, man, let's present this and let's, you know what I'm saying, let's partner up. And they go to Stanford and they do a presentation. Everybody thinks they're crazy, except one like, not really an electronics store owner, but just one guy who sells computers. And after that, that's how he gets his team. That's how he gets his team together of like himself, Wozniak, and like three other dudes. And then they're starting to put more and more together. And then Dermot Mulroney's character, I think Mike something, I can't remember his name. He's their first investor, and he's telling them, y'all gotta like be incorporated, make yourself an official company. And that's how like they already have the name Apple, but they make it official. And then after that, man, it goes through just the highs and lows of his life. And it's just how like with the Mac 2, then the Macintosh, how they was like getting outsold by IBM and shit, and then like the board of directors was tripping, and like they moved him off of projects. He got voted out of his own company, and then when in the 70s, man, like he knocked this chick up. He disowned her off Jump Street, and then it didn't really take like until like the 90s, until he wasn't like involved in Apple no more. That's when he like really like became like a family man and like went to find his kid, and you know what I'm saying, like made a better life for a family. And then obviously, as everybody knows, man, he got brought back to Apple, and like Apple really wasn't shit during the time he was gone. Like it established and referenced the highs and lows that their stocks was going through, and how like they was getting outsold by all the competitors. And then they brought him back as a consultant. And y'all remember them? Them desktops that was like they was like a real like a turtle shell looking monitor. They was flat, but they was real round, and they was different colors like red, green, purple, blue. Like they showed Steve Jobs talking to the guy that really like created those and had the idea for those. And then how he basically got brought all the way back into the fold of Apple. And like I like biographical movies, man. Ali, Ray, shit like that. American Gangster, Public Enemies, shit like that. And I mean, I enjoyed this movie, man. Like I said, everybody was a spitting image of who they was portraying. All the acting was good. My one beef was Ashton Kutcher like really didn't like try to train his voice to sound like Steve Jobs. Like it was Steve Jobs in mannerisms, in historical whatever, but he sounded like Ashton Kutcher. And you know what I'm saying? Obviously, like it's like a 2 hour long movie. There was probably a lot of big historical events that really didn't get covered, because the movie doesn't want to, like, while it does like portray that Ashton Kutcher is an asshole, that Steve Jobs is an asshole, it doesn't want to make him like he's evil or no shit like that. You know, this review was ran on long as fuck. So with that being said, I will say Jobs is dope. It's not for everybody because it's real slow paced, but being that it's based on true shit, I was engaged, and I was completely interested in this shit. And so did you see Jobs? Did you like Jobs? Do you have Jobs? I'll be seeing Kick-Ass 2 tomorrow. Within the next week or so, I want to go see The Butler, Lee Daniels, The Butler. I got Raps. Look out for those. That's really all I'm on lately, man. I appreciate y'all watching this shit. Peace.